If you're a landlord with properties in Newport, Cardiff and the surrounding valleys, and you're thinking of selling your properties, and you want to do it as hassle-free as possible, then let me introduce you to our off-market property selling service. Right now, there are hundreds of landlords and investors looking for buy-to-let properties. These investors are looking for any property type and any property style. It could be 1 bedroom, 2 bedrooms or 3 bedrooms. Could be a block of flats, terraced or semis. There's so many people looking for properties at the moment, the criteria could change from buyer to buyer. If you have a property that fits this criteria, this could be suitable for this service. Some of the things that we're looking for is if they're already tenanted, the tenants are compliant, the rents are of a reasonable level, and the tenants are generally looking after the property. We like to see the property is in a good location and is going to rent well. And we know that it's going to be easy to tenant in the future because that's what vital investors are looking for. We also don't mind if the property needs some refurbishment. Maybe you've owned the property for a long period of time, maybe 15 to 20 years, and is coming up to the next refurbishment stage. Well, that's okay because a lot of new investors are more than happy to invest in a property where money needs to be spent. And the great news is, no matter what the scenario, no matter what type of property you got, with this method of selling, you don't have to put your property on the open market, meaning you don't have to engage with estate agencies. You don't have to incur estate agencies' costs. You also don't have to give your tenant notice to vacate, meaning you can receive rent up to the point of completion. And you don't have unnecessarily void periods in this process. That's giving you a faster, more streamlined, professional and discreet selling experience. Now, the great news is, because there's so many different buyers in the marketplace right now, their criteria really does range. It could be anything from flats to houses, from 1 bedroom to 3, or from a single let to HMOs and house shares. It can even be blocks of flats. It could be properties that need work and modernisation, and it could be properties that don't. It could be properties that are tenanted and properties that aren't tenanted. The main things are, it's got to be in good rentable areas, and it's got to offer a return on their investment. If they are tenanted properties, then it's going to be important for the new investor that the tenancies are compliant and the tenants are generally looking after the property. And of course, with these buyers not being part of a chain, they are flexible and can work to completion times to suit you. With today's current climate and mortgage rates being higher, many of them are actually buying with cash, making the transaction potentially a lot quicker for both parties. So how does this work and how do you get involved? Now, firstly, it's going to start with a free, no obligation 10-minute consultation call. This will be with myself. I've been in property for over 5 years now, and as an active investor myself with a portfolio of just over £2 million in South Wales, we've been working with buy-to-let investors for the past 2 years. We have sold numerous investment properties for our landlords over the last few years. We've also carried out end-to-end project management on these properties for our landlords. These landlords have ended up being long-serving clients of ours over the last few years. Once we've had our initial consultation call and we've established that your property is suitable, the good news is we don't have to open this up to hundreds of viewings. In fact, it'll just be myself going to do one property visit and compiling information about your property. I'm going to need tenancy information. I'm going to need everything required for a new buy-to-let investor to make an informed decision without having to physically see the property. This includes photographs, videos, floor plans, and all of the tenancy information that is relevant. I may also need anything else such as leasehold information that may be appropriate for your property. Once I've compiled all the information and the property details, I will then be in a position where I can start offering your property to my ready and waiting buy-to-let investors. So this means that only one viewing will be at your property once the buyer has accepted your deal. They've already been pre-qualified, the transaction's been agreed, and we're in a position to get a memorandum of sale out to all of the solicitors to start working straight away. So how do we go about matching you with potential buyers? As I said earlier, this isn't an on-market method of sale. We actually have a comprehensive list of over 1,000 buy-to-let investors already active who have specifically opted into the off-market property service update. This means they're ready and waiting to receive email alerts of new opportunities that may be suitable for them to buy. On top of this, we also have another tier of investment buyers who have then opted in for our priority list. This means they're already onboarded. We have all their information, including purchase documents, their solicitors, and everything else ready to go. This means they're in a position where they can offer straight away on any properties we bring to them. I only match your property with people whose brief it actually matches. This gives us a much better chance in finding someone ready to go quickly who is definitely the right type of buyer for the property you're looking to sell. So once we've agreed a sale for you, and once we've matched you up with a new buyer, the great news is, because these are new landlords looking to acquire buy-to-lets, there's no need to get rid of your tenants. This means you don't lose out on rent up until the point of completion. You have no unnecessary void periods no matter what. The new buyer will take over the tenancy as it is. And finally, as we already charge the buyer for this off-market property service, we do not charge you a single penny over estate agency fees. This means you'll save yourself thousands of pounds. So if you're still not sure about booking the call, let me remind you of a few key points and benefits. Remember, we only work with pre-vetted, pre-qualified, ready-to-buy investors. There are no complicated chain scenarios or having to wait for somebody to sell in order to purchase yours. There are, of course, very few viewings because we do all the pre-vetting and the investor knows exactly what they want. Completion time is faster. However, if you do have a different timescale to work to, the buyers are flexible and can work with you. You can, of course, sell the property with tenant in situ, meaning you don't have to worry about evicting your tenant. You also don't have to worry about losing rent up until the point of completion or unnecessary void periods. And if you have a great tenant looking after the property and a good amount of rent coming in, the value of your rental income and the quality of your tenant actually becomes a key selling point in the transaction. So, quite simply put, what this really is an investor-to-investor matchmaking service. And over the last few months alone, we have literally matched dozens of investors to one another, agreeing countless property transactions with a whole range of different scenarios. If you think this is going to be for you, now is the time to book your free consultation call. Remember, it's a free, no obligation consultation call. It's 10 minutes with me personally, and all we're going to do is have a chat in more detail and establish whether your property is suitable for this particular service. So click the link just below. It'll take you to a link to my diary and you can see my available diary times. You can get yourself booked in straight away, and I look forward to having a chat with you.